Help former inmates find a job, live a crime-free life, and succeed beyond their wildest dreams. And I think they were being pushed a little bit also by Kim Kardashian. She's right here.
So to get the president's support and to see it come to fruition was magic.
And I have to say my administration is focused on lifting up all Americans, and that's exactly what we're doing with this. And as a result of the booming economy, we're bringing Americans who have been on the sidelines back into the workforce, including former inmates and those recovering from opioid addiction. Very important, and it's been incredible the success we've had. So rebuilding lives, rebuilding families, and rebuilding communities. To realize America's full potential, we must unlock the talents of every single citizen. We want to lift every American family out of poverty and into a future of hope and opportunity. In December of last year, I signed into law groundbreaking and historic reform to our criminal justice system, the First Step Act.
Without a second chance, I don't know where I would have been. I'm not sure if I could have stayed sober. I certainly know I wouldn't have contributed the level I did. Next month, I have my first child, a baby daughter, on the way. I have, thank you. I'm married, and I have the ability to be standing here with you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking on criminal justice reform. Folks, this is the public safety issue of our time. This is a justice issue of our time. This is a civil rights issue of our time. And this is a prosperity issue of our time. And Mr. President, thanks to you, it's all of our time. God bless you.
And I think they were being pushed a little bit also by Kim Kardashian. She's right here.
So I'm so happy to announce today that we have a ride share partnership where formerly incarcerated people will be gifted gift cards so that they can get rides to and from job interviews, to and from jobs, family members, and that is so important, so needed. And I just want to thank the president for really standing behind this issue and seeing the compassion that he's had for criminal justice has been really remarkable.
America wins when citizens with a criminal record can contribute to their communities as law-abiding members of our society. When former inmates come home, the single most important action we can take is to help them find a really, really good job where they love the job, they want to go there, and they're making a lot of money, right? And that's what's happening, and that's because of a lot of reasons, including the people in this room, but it's also because we have a great economy.
When I was 15 years old, I made one of the worst mistakes of my life, and it landed me in front of a judge listening to him sentence me to 8 years in adult maximum security prisons. I grew up in a prison cell, and I'll tell you, that was some of the darkest times of my life. The depression that I fought, the battles on the prison rec yards that I saw every day, they became a big part of me, and they built this dark spirit that my mom began to see, and my mom made a commitment because she wanted me to understand that there was life after prison. There would be potential days that looked like this. And so my mom wrote me letters and she sent me pictures every day for the remaining 6 years of my prison sentence until I came home so that she could show me the window to the world. And this is why I'm so grateful for what happens around the country, and we having conversations around the First Step Act and what we're doing now with these second chances, because even once I came home, it was still very challenging for me to get a job. After finally finding a job at a paint store, minimum wage job, and I was very, very grateful just to be able to get a job, and it was really only because of the way that they worded one of the questions on the application. It allowed me to be able to even eventually start my first business after prison, which was a painting business. We ended up hiring over 18 employees, and after the 19th one, we realized that the first 16 were all returning citizens just like me. Thank you. And in 2012, we started our first tech company. That tech company, Flikshop, is now a venture-backed company that connects families back to their incarcerated loved ones the same way that my mom wrote me letters and pictures when I was in prison. We've connected over 140,000 families around the country, and I'm so grateful because the resources that are flowing back into these prison cells using our tech is building the next generation of entrepreneurs, leaders, business executives like me, and great employees at some of you all's incredible companies. I'm so grateful to be a small part of the solution because we do understand that this crisis is huge. But with you guys' leadership, I feel very, very optimistic about the future of employment.
We're expanding our Second Chance Pell Grant pilot program to allow individuals to use their time in prison to take college-level classes. That's great.
What's the next step? What we know is that once people get out of incarceration, too often they return because they can't find a job. These aren't bad people, they're people who are trying to survive. And we can play a role in that if we can help remove some of the barriers, those barriers that lead to high levels of recidivism. Again, no one wants to go back. And so what we needed to do is figure out how we could play a role, the country's human resources professionals, to remove the barrier of employment. And so we're bringing bad people back into the workplace. So, we launched a website called Getting Talent Back to Work. And we got 1,500 employers across this country to immediately sign to join the movement because we needed employers to commit. It wasn't enough to get people out of incarceration, we needed to get them employed. In a very short period of time after announcing it, with Charles Koch, Richard Branson, myself, we had people just signing up. And so now all of a sudden, Mr. President, your goal of getting that 5 times the number down to single digits, we're gonna do it. And the Society for Human Resource Management.
Our administration is also working to allow rehabilitated citizens with a criminal record to apply for both federal government jobs and affordable housing, something that we're unable to do before.
Woohoo! That's another out of the park home run for President Trump. Thank you, Mr. President.